Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and it's been a really long time since I've brought you a little list of things to implement into your life to make your life happy, healthier, and more productive. And I found this great article. I actually read it a few months ago from Benjamin Hardy, who is a prolific writer and an amazing coach. He's getting ready to publish his third book. His name is, like I said, Benjamin Hardy, and he is my nephew, and he's just always puts out the best content, and I wanted to give my spin on this article he has called Six Things You Need to Recover From Every Single Day. And the list is this: work, technology, people, food, fitness, and being awake. So basically, let's take a look at these really quickly and what they could mean in your life if you learn how to disconnect from them. So work. If you're one of those people who cannot disconnect from work when you get away from work, then this is doing serious damage to your personal relationships with your spouse, your kids, your extended family. And it also probably wreaks a little bit of havoc with your fitness routine, with your lack of a fitness routine, with anything that you might be wanting to do or have a deeper connection with because you're so focused on work and you're available all the time on your phone or your computer. People know they can reach you 24/7. And unless you're something like an emergency room doctor or you're on call for a job or a shift that requires you to be available, most of us don't have that reason or that excuse to let that keep us disconnected from our family. And the interesting thing is that there's a lot of people who feel like because they're successful at work, that it's okay not to be successful in their marriages and their relationship with their kids. They just feel like work sustains them and work is all important to pay the bills, which it is. But to recover from work every day is really, really important for all those other things that you need to recover from as well. So the number one thing is every single day, disconnect from work, not just physically, but mentally. And put the things away, the toys away, your smartphone, your computer, your iPad, whatever it is you need to do to put away so that you can actually fully commit to the other parts of your life that will help make your work life even more productive when you're at work. So that's number one. Number two is technology. Now, we all know that technology is super fun. It's awesome to be connected. It's awesome to Google something right at your fingertips. You can find out the information for anything. But the thing is, there's a study that shows that we check our smartphones 85 times during the day. And you probably, if you were to count, you might be somewhere on the far end of the spectrum or maybe lower, but that is an average of people just checking their smartphone all day long. And it's a form of addiction that is just not healthy from us. So every day you need to recover from your connection with technology. So between an hour and 2 hours in the morning before you even check your phone, because you start your day off disconnected when you immediately go into a mode where you're getting information instead of giving output. Your fitness routine might suffer, your nutrition might suffer because you're already focused on what's coming in and what's going on in the internet world and on your phones and notifications that you can't pay attention to the rest of everything else. And we also show that 1 to 2 hours before you go to sleep, you should completely disconnect from technology, which might sound really super hard, and you might just be poo-pooing this one because why should we be disconnected? And if you are, then this just shows you that you are a person who needs to disconnect, no matter how hard that is. In fact, there's a kind of a cool thing that's been going on around for a while, where friends and family members, if they gather for dinner, they'll put their phones in a stack in the middle of the table, and the first person to check their phone has to pay the bill for the whole table. And that's actually pretty cool because it's so distracting and there's a disconnect happening when you're at dinner with people, or even just if you're sitting at dinner with your spouse and your kids. If they're always checking their phones and it's just right next to them, and I've been guilty of this in the past, but you cannot have a full human connection if you're staying connected to your cell phone, your smartphone. So every single day you should recover from technology. Okay, the third thing is that every day for a short period of time, or even a long period of time if you have the luxury, You need to recover and disconnect from people. As human beings, we need that quiet time. We need that reflection. We need the time away from the interaction with other people. And to have that and give yourself even small amounts of time. That's why you always hear about people that meditate and how good meditation is for you. It's something that a lot of us are kind of like, well, I've tried to meditate, but I just can't shut off my brain. And, if anything, remove yourself away, have a quiet space somewhere, anywhere, even if it's in your bathroom. If you have a busy household and there's no place for you to find quiet time, sit in your bathroom, give yourself 10 or 15 minutes and just breathe. Just breathe and reflect, maybe read. And don't have anything on. Don't have your technology with you. Don't have the TV on. Find yourself a quiet time, and preferably if you can go out in nature, because connecting out in Mother Nature, our brains seeing the green, breathing the fresh air. There's something that gives our spirit, and something that we need as human beings that lets us be more present and more fully capable of handling when we do have those interactions all the rest of the time with people. So it doesn't have to be a long time, but short periods of time every single day. So recovering from people, which might sound kind of crazy, but we all need that. Okay, number 4 is to recover from food. Now this is tricky because we need to eat. We need to eat to stay alive, but we also eat way too much. Food in our modern world is way too accessible. And it's not just a lot of food, but a lot of times it's bad food, junk food, fast food, food that's always there. One of the hardest times it used to be for me to disconnect from food was when I would travel. I used to think, oh, I'm on vacation and I deserve in the airport. It's the only time I'm going to grab some M&Ms and I'm going to grab whatever it was I used to grab. And then I would usually end up feeling not so good on my vacations because I was giving myself this thought process of deserving to eat bad food. So when you rest from food, and even to the point of intermittent fasting or even 24-hour, 48-hour fast, the spirituality and the mental clarity that you get from giving yourself recovery from food is really, really super important. So if you're to think about doing this on a daily basis, think about not eating any later than say 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 o'clock. You shouldn't be eating. The typical thing that I actually used to do too when I was a lot younger was I would eat a bowl of cereal right before I went to bed, and a lot of that is just eating out of boredom. So it's not really good for your body and your brain to go to sleep and to go get into bed with a full stomach. So let yourself every day get in the habit and the routine of eating dinner early and then not just eating all day long. I mean, our human bodies are not designed to do that, even though we have access to food all the time. So recover from food every single day. Okay, the 5th thing is fitness. Just like anything else, your body needs a break. I'm a big fan of fitness. I love to work out. It gets endorphins going. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel flexible. But I notice, and I've been doing this for a long time now because I used to actually be kind of crazy about my fitness, and I was teaching a lot of classes. At one point in my life, I was teaching between 17 and 20 exercise classes every week. And then I was doing hiking and swimming and biking on top of that. So I think I was a little bit obsessed about it. And I think a lot of people are. It's easy to get obsessed about fitness. But the thing is, even if you are just on a steady routine where you exercise every day, your body needs a day off, even one day a week, to just recover and repair. I always notice when I do that my workouts the day after I take a day off are so much stronger, and I feel so much better, and all my muscles are just responding like the way they should respond. So if you haven't got the exercise or the fitness thing clicked in yet, definitely click that in. And I'm not talking about not walking. To me, movement is important. I'm not talking about taking a whole day and just being completely slug-like and sedentary. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about from a hardcore fitness routine, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's interval training, whether it's whatever it is that you do for fitness, take a break from fitness and recover from that. And if we put it onto a daily basis, we should recover and have recovery time and rest time. And part of this might include the right fuel, where we give ourselves recovery with the right fuel to help rebuild and regenerate our muscles. So fitness. Okay, now the sixth and last one is recover from being awake. So that just means that you need to make sure you get a full, restful, complete night's sleep. Most of us don't. Most of us don't get enough sleep, restful sleep. We have our room that's not dark. We go to sleep holding our iPad and reading or playing games or scrolling social media. I mean, we're doing that right before we go to bed. And I will tell you that I am still guilty of this sometimes. It's to me, I tell myself I'm too tired to read, but what that just tells you is I'm too tired. It's time for me to go to sleep. So disconnect from technology 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed. Try to make it 2. But if your room is not cool, dark, and quiet, you're not going to be able to get a full night's sleep and help you get and do all these other things the way we're supposed to do them. Literally, if you don't get a full night's sleep, your body is not going to be able to repair. That's what it's doing when you're sleeping. So you've got to set up your environment. It's got to be cool, 65 degrees. And if you've heard any of my stuff, you've heard me say this before, about 65 degrees. It has to be dark. All right. Your body cannot produce the hormone melatonin unless your room is perfectly dark. So if you need to, buy a sleeping mask and wear a sleeping mask while you sleep, because this allows your body to produce the hormone melatonin, which is a reparative, restorative hormone, and it helps you get a full, deep night's sleep. And then the third thing with that is that your room needs to be quiet. So if you have a TV in your room, or you go to sleep to music, or worse, going to sleep to the TV, all those things need to be moved out of your room. Go back to the old-fashioned times where people used to read before they went to bed and visit with each other before they went to bed, and basically get your body and your mind into a state where it's going to get full recovery, full reparative night's sleep. And you'd be surprised at how these things would absolutely change your health. So that's why I wanted to give you this list. So let's recap real quick. Recover from work, technology, people, food, fitness, and from being awake. So give me some comments. If you already do all of these things and your life is completely amazing because of it, if there's 1 or 2 things that you need to do better. Reading this made me realize I need to disconnect from technology a little bit more than I do. If I'm being completely honest, I've got a lot of those other things clicked in, and it's not been something that I did overnight. I'm 56 and I did not do all these things perfectly. I would say my biggest thing is technology. So tell me maybe what your one biggest thing is that keeps you from recovering, being present, and living life with total happiness and joy without doing this type of damage to your physical body and your mind. So have a great day, guys. It's nice to bring you this list. I love Benjamin's stuff. It just rocks my world. Anyway, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon, and take care.